Welcome on this Thursday to the fifth episode of Philosophonics. It is such a pleasure, as always, to have you guys here this evening. I'm really excited about the three-part kind of mini series that I've been doing. So last week we had the power of sound and music on the mind. This week will be the power of sound and music on the body, and then we will do next week with the power of sound and music on the soul. So it's been really nice to break it up in this way, although they do all go together, obviously, at the end of the day. And without further ado, I'm going to get started. So if you're new to this format, basically I do a little bit of everything that I am passionate about, including playing some original music. And then we go into a chat about some really cool topics, and then some covers, and lastly, a meditation. So hopefully there's a little bit in there for you somewhere along that. And I'm going to play you guys three originals today. The first is Kafka and Ice Cream, the second is called Days, and the third is a song called Breathe. All right, folks, strap in. Philosophonics, episode 5. Here we go. Relax now, clear your mind of all those thoughts. Stay with me on a boat across the ocean, and we'll leave them all staring. Fitting nicely in their boxes. And oh, the joys of using our brains, and oh, the joys of going insane, as we well should, when life is this good. Remind me of music, a symphony inside your head, a symphony inside your head. And oh, the joys of touching your skin, and oh, the joys of letting you in, as I will should, when you feel so good. 'Cause life's not a pipe dream for us. Life's not a pipe dream for us. Life's not a pipe dream, it's Kafka and ice cream for us. Hello, Gina. Love you. So glad you're here. All right, this next one, Days. Normally my brother drums on the album, so I've made a little beat, and bear with me, let me get it going.
Sister, won't you sing me a story? 'Cause I got some listening to spare. I got some listening to spare. seem to win. And I keep on breaking my bones to tell you this message. So when you're gonna open up your ears, oh, when you're gonna open up your ears. And all day long we can keep quiet, but before long we'll all become slaves with nothing to say, with nothing to say on the victory day. And all day long we can keep quiet, but before long we'll all become slaves with nothing to say, with nothing to say, with nothing to say, with nothing to say.
Whew. So that song was called Breathe, and it's not actually, I don't think I have it recorded on anything, but yeah, that's one of my faves. Maybe it'll end up on an album someday. So speaking of albums, since this is kind of a casual chat, I have some really exciting news coming up this next week with tour announcements to the east. And so stay tuned for those as well as some other cool things coming your way. And now let us move on to my favorite part actually of the show, which is where we talk about cool stuff. Let me change the background. Oh, yes, my mouse. I've put it over here. All right. So, tonight, as I have said, we are going to be talking about music and sound and the effect it has on the body. So this is one of my most important things with music is the fact that it is able to heal the human body, and not only the brain, like we talked about a little bit last week, but it has been for thousands of years healing various things for human beings. And so I want to start off by saying that music can make our body better, but it can also make our body sick. And both of these are just sort of evidence of, it's not just all frou frou and frill up in the air. People are actually aware of this and they use this, including our military and our police. So, if you're not familiar with these right here, they are two different things. They're both essentially called a sound cannon. They call them a sound gun or a sound weapon. But here is both the police and our military using sound as a weapon to actually harm people if needed. And these things go great distances. They use them out in the wide ocean, a lot of ships to deal with pirates and that type of thing. So this is not just a freak thing that it's on this one ship. It is on many ships. They use it for crowd control when there's riots, which is what you're seeing kind of in that top left picture. Um, so yeah, this is sound being a device that is definitely going to harm people. And what it is a very high concentrated wave, a very direct sound wave, very loud sound wave, and there is evidence that these types of things actually can like implode our insides. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about is the brown note. You may or may not have heard that, but it is a suggestion that there is a frequency that can make people go number two on themselves, which is definitely harmful, I would assume. That turns out is more of a myth, although there are studies of people experiencing extreme nausea, even seizures. So, one thing I saw was the Republic XK-84. It was a plane that was built, and due to the loudness of the sound as well as the low frequencies from the rumble of the plane, people were getting nauseous. One guy was reported to have a seizure. And also, there are things I want to talk about too, like alarm systems. I don't know if you guys have ever witnessed one of those loud alarm systems going off, but I have, and you absolutely cannot really think clearly at the time. It's painful, it's confusing. I just want it to stop. So, those exist. There's another thing I even saw called the mosquito, which they're using to prevent people from littering. And it's a small device, like a little sound box that they put in areas that they don't want people to litter. So yeah, there is all types of sound weapons, and it's clear that scientifically they are being used to harm people if needed. So there goes your evidence of sound being harmful. And then, of course, the flip side, which we're going to talk more about this evening, is sound making us better. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Julie. I see it. Love you. Love you so much. You guys are the best. I hope this is like benefiting your life, learning all this different stuff. Maybe you've been having fun trying out some of the different things that we've learned about. So, yeah. Now to the a little bit more difficult to prove evidence of sound making our bodies better. There is a video that I would love for you guys to check out on YouTube. I can't show it here because of the rights, but if you simply Google and YouTube monk heals tumor, and I heard about this from a guy's video that I really love, Gregg Braden. If you haven't listened to any of his videos, he is amazing. He is part one foot in the sciencey factual realm, one part in the kind of esoteric folklore, and that's why I love it because it's such a balanced presentation of this information. But in watching one of his videos, I learned about this um, video that you can watch online. And like I said, just search monk heals tumor. And what you're going to see is some monks around a person with a bladder, a tumor in their bladder, I believe, in their pelvis somewhere. And you can actually see the tumor in the, I don't know, you guys, I'm not a doctor. If it's an x ray or some other kind of camera they have going on, there's probably a proper term for it. But, anyways, they have a camera. You can see the guys inside, you can see the tumor. And basically, within a couple minutes maximum, these monks start chanting, and the tumor literally disappears. It goes away. Now, the implications of this are huge, right? Because that means that if someone has cancer, that it can be healed with sound in a matter of minutes. Um, of course, there is no real parts of the medical field, to my knowledge, supporting this theory in the Western world. But in China and in the Eastern world, it is something called, you guys have probably heard of qi. Qi is basically energy. And this technique that these monks are using is called extended qi. It's basically where they are shooting their energy through sound and focus out to someone else, and it can even be done remotely through like photographs, evidently. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. So go down the rabbit hole with that because it would probably take me all day to like, and no one's successfully done it to scientifically go like point A to point B. This is how it uh, is done, and this is all the factual evidence of it. But the bottom line is that you can clearly see in that video sound healing that tumor. Um, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we already are using things to, like radiation is a wave. Now it's a lot higher of a frequency, but we are already using waves quite a bit to blast kidney stones, all kinds of stuff in the medical field. So, moving out there a little bit and what we would call left field is this external chi work that's being done and has been done for hundreds of years. So yeah, go down the rabbit hole with that. That's to me pretty good evidence of sound dramatically healing. Other things that are pretty popular, music therapist, that's actually a degree, that's an occupation, that's a career. And these people work with Alzheimer's patients, with people with mental illnesses, all kinds of different things. And I'm sure you guys have heard the studies about Alzheimer's patients. Basically, I saw this in action one time in a senior center in California. It was my church youth group, and we had a drummer, and there were some people up front in the performance that were clearly not so cognizant to the present. And at first, we're doing our little performance, and they were just there. But then, about halfway through this performance, they start clapping. Not only clapping, but clapping with the beat of the drum kit. So that was crazy to experience. It is literally a part of the brain being activated and coming back through that. Then, of course, there are things like sound baths and chimes, the solfeggio, which you've talked about a little bit. There are pitchforks. There's all kinds of tools that people are using to heal with sound. And much of it is, I'm going to say, dealing with just the internal stress itself. So, as we've all heard, stress is the number one killer. Stress leads to a lot of different forms of manifestations of illnesses. And there definitely is scientific studies that show that these types of sound baths and music therapy heal the cortisone, basically like lower the stress levels of the body. So one thing I want to go to next, because as far as evidence of sound healing and how it's affecting the body, I think this is a really great way to provide some evidence for that and just what it could do. So many of you have seen the episode that I did with the balloon and showing the sound on the wall. And we talked about the different patterns of the harmonic overtone series. Well, there was a Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto, and he did some studies. And I think that the evidence and the results of his studies show how a lot of what we've talked about is factual and goes together. So let me just pull this up for you guys. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks, Gina. You guys are the best. I really, like I said it last week, I'm super grateful for all of you, but you really just don't even have any idea how much it means that you guys are interested in this and are here for it. So props to you guys. Gold star, all the appreciation. All right, so here is Masaru's results for some of the things that he did. And what he did is he actually tested water. So what he would do is he would get water and then he would look at the molecules. Sometimes he froze the water. Sometimes I don't think he did. Maybe he froze it every time. I'm not an expert on him either. But as you can see, this is the shapes that are formed when different words or music are spoken into the water. So at the top left, we have the word compassion, thank you, wisdom. Look at those patterns. They are beautiful and they are symmetrical. And who knows? They could look a lot like some of the shapes that we come up with when we have a tonoscope and do cymatics. They all do look kind of familiar like that. And then, as you can see, this is not a diss against metal. We can talk about it some other time about why metal might be making not a pretty pattern, but that is heavy metal music on water. Then we have I Will Kill You. Yikes. Look how that is not in any kind of beautiful little snowflake thing like the other ones. Then You Fool. Then we moving down, as you can see, Mozart Symphony. They played it Imagine by John Lennon. They spoke the word love and et cetera, et cetera. Peace, thank you. And then there's I Will Kill You again. um, and then on this last one, I want to talk about that specifically because what they did is they had the city water supply and they looked at it. So there is the water supply before these Buddhist monks prayed on it. And then, as you can see, there is the water after the Buddhist monks have prayed on it. So, my logical part of my brain, my 2 cents, says that if this is happening in the level of water, our bodies are what, like 90 or something percent water. They're a lot water. So, this same thing must be happening within us. And not all of this, of course, is music, but all of this is sound. Now, I do think that intention plays a part in that, which we'll get to next week in the soul part of these chats. But yes, so I think this right here is pretty much also evidence to me of the effect of music and sound on our body because it's definitely doing that to us as well. And from some of those patterns that we saw, I'm sure that we could make more organized things with our frequencies and what we're listening to, and then, of course, more chaotic things. So that is sort of an interesting philosophical thing to think about is uh, what exactly is happening. Really, I mean, that for me, it's like, what is going down there? And these are actual scientific things. He didn't like rig the outcome. The guy's legit. This legitimately is the result of that. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to point out about a little bit of evidence of the effect of sound on the body. I don't think there's really any denying that it can make us sick or make us better. So we talked about some of the tools that people use to uh, impart these frequencies into people. And one of them was created by a man called Royal Rife, Rife. Before I talk about the Rife Machine, which is what we're going to get into, I want to talk a little bit about Royal Rife. So, Royal Rife, he actually ended up passing away. Let's see, I wrote down when he passed away. No, I didn't. It was like 1971, I think. Could be wrong about that. Anyway, but before, let's say around the 30s, he was very well respected in the scientific community, was making microscopes that could evaluate the structures of crystals and all kinds of stuff. Won awards. He was like the guy, right? Like people were like, Royal Rife, we love you so much. Then he invents this machine that, the Rife machine, that basically you hold two conductors, or it can also be done through wirelessly, essentially, imprinting frequencies into the body to heal all kinds of stuff, right? All of a sudden, it's so crazy because when he invented that, the scientific community and basically everyone said, "Oh, this guy is a conspiracy theorist. He is creating hoaxes. The Rife machine is not legit. It is not doing anything." And what I find the most interesting is that the whole time this is going on, Royal is saying, "Well, I've got the American Medical Association slandering me because they do not want this technology to exist because it is essentially free. I mean, you need a couple of things, but he swore up until his dying day that there was a conspiracy to slander him by the American Medical Association. So to me, you can take this information about the Rife machine and you can take it or leave it. You can be on the side of Royal Rife was, smoke and mirrors and blah, blah, blah. Or you cannot, and you can take the Rife machine seriously. Um, Whatever feels best for you. I personally think that whenever somebody is screaming that they have the whole um, medical association after them, and then before they invented that device, they were super well respected. That to me, it sounds a little bit fishy. And I have seen the Rife machine in action. There's actually one in my city at a place, and I have seen it actually heal people. Not like in person, I haven't seen it, but I know folks that have done the Rife machine and they're better from serious things. So let me show you guys some pictures of it. And like I was saying, how it works is based off of resonant frequency. So if you've ever heard of someone breaking glass while singing, like the tonoscope we saw, whenever, or even the sound thing that I did that one night, wherever stuff starts to rattle and then boom, it changes shape really quickly, like on a dime. That is essentially what is we're trying to do here with the Rife machine. So the theory is that it can find the resonant frequency of whatever the illness is, the cancer, all kinds of stuff. And, maybe you got a virus or a cold. It finds those frequencies and then it blasts that same frequency into the body until it's just like the glass breaking. It shakes the atomic structure so much that boom, it shifts into something else. Okay, and yeah, like the best way I could explain in my mind how I think of it working is with the tonoscope, like we saw, the rice mandala, as I like to call it in my younger years. The rice on the sound plate where it's making the shape, they slowly raise the frequency and then it goes into another shape really quick. So that is the concept behind what's going on with the Rife machine. And this is a small one right here. This one has a plasma, it says plasma tube sold separately because the plasma tube is something that is supposed to be able to make it wireless, Look, this is like straight up from the site where you can buy this one. So it's like it will do it in your living room over 30 feet radius. I don't know about that. I just know about the ones that are handheld or with Tesla coils. But this is an example of one. And here is, let's see, I got another one. Okay, yeah. So this is would be like a small scale Rife machine, and this is what I'm talking about, the ones I'm familiar with, because you're sending that frequency through your body in a circuit. Basically, your body is making a circuit with this sound. You program the frequency of the virus or whatever. And the one that I've seen locally here has a whole computer attached to it, in which is a database of all the different frequencies. So yeah, the Rife machine, I'm for it. If I were to purchase one myself or build one, I probably wouldn't spend a lot of money just because I would want to test it out myself at first. Um, but at the end of the day, I really do believe these work. Um, and I do think, and if you Google Rife machine, trust me, you're gonna immediately find there's no studies about it. There's no support from the medical community. And I just say they're just continuing on what they did to Royal. So that's my whole theory about the Rife machine is that it works. It's cheap and it's accessible to a lot of people. And so perhaps they don't, you know, that would put certain people out of business. Okay. So, yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention is that you don't even have to get bougie with any of this. You can simply just have a Bluetooth speaker and some sound source playing. So we've talked about all these different gongs and crazy things. Don't think that those have to be there for you to be able to experience this. If you have anything that is a speaker, you can basically be doing this at home. So the meditations that we do, and any meditation that you do in general in life, is going to have this effect because one, it's lowering the stress, and that is lowering your blood pressure and all of those different things and getting all the benefits from that. So just anytime you're listening to relaxing music is going to be helping your body, but you should know that there are more specific devices for specific problems and illnesses, and they are being used to heal people. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that next week when we get to the soul, because I think that this ties a lot together with intention. And so, one thing I want to ask philosophically this evening is we've shown the shapes of the different frequencies and the intervals together and music. What part, how much do you think the intention of our hearts play into these processes? Uh, I think it's quite heavy. It's probably like almost a 50-50, if not more. So to me, if you do not have that focused intention, and the intention of love is really what it is, love is the most powerful thing, then I don't think that these things will really be as effective. And at the end of the day, do we need the things to do the healing? I don't know, is the question. That's my philosophical question to you all. The other philosophical question I want to bring up tonight is seven, the number seven. Why are there 7 notes in the scale, 7 days of the week, 7 chakras? Um, and why that is pertinent to this topic is because, one, it's involving the scale, but what's going on with us having these groups of seven uh, in everything? I guess looking back, it is kind of random, but it's not. You guys just roll with me on it. So those are my two philosophical questions. is what is the power of intention on that? And then, of course, the random one, why seven? Why seven of everything? I don't know. Anyhow, all right. That gives you kind of an overview, I think, of what is happening on the molecular level with sound and music. Looking at those Masaru experiments, I think we can see that there's definitely things that are better to be putting into our body as far as sound and frequency, and there are things that are worse. And more than likely, they're all tied up with our intention. So that kind of concludes the chat part for tonight because that what leads us into next week talking about the soul. And yeah, I will edit the description to reflect and show the monk video. You guys can check that out. Maybe some other cool links. Oh, and I do have a picture of a sound bath if you haven't seen it. This is a public, well, not fully public. I'm sure you had to sign up or something. This is an example of a sound bath. So the woman is sitting in the middle. She's mic'd up because it's a larger space, and she's got some singing bowls and some various things. And these people are all so receptive and chilled out and ready to receive some benefits. The bottom line is no matter what, music definitely can lower your cortisol levels and your stress, and that will make you better. So listen to some chilled out music if you're not feeling good. Oh, okay. Julie asked, what was the YouTube channel you recommended again? So Julie, all you're gonna do is search Monk Heals Tumor. And I believe the thumbnail of the video is like, it looks like, to me, it looks like a sonogram, but it's showing basically the scan of the guy with the tumor. So let me know if you can't find it. I'll definitely put it in the links below. Um, and that video will lead you down the rabbit hole to see a lot of extended chi. Um, so just look up external chi, extended chi as well, and you can see people practicing that. Supposedly, it's, I mean, it's obviously been around for hundreds of years, but they've been keeping it a secret, which is understandable, I suppose. Oh, the channel I heard about the monk video from, I got you. That is Gregg Braden. Oh my gosh. I love him. If you haven't watched his videos, Gregg Braden, Braden. He just released a new one like 2 days ago. That's amazing. It's talking about like the ancient battle that still goes on today, energetic battle. Uh, but to my understanding, he used to be working for the oil and gas companies as a scientist. And he like basically was like, I want to study quantum things and cool things. And so he's got like, I want to say hundreds of videos up that are all just amazing. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so lovely little sound bath. And those are really popular right now. But like I said, you don't have to have a lot of money. Don't be fooled into the like paying a bunch of money for sound bath because it irks me. This stuff should be free. So like I said, if you have any kind of speaker system, you can do it yourself. It may not be as analog, but whatever. All right, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for making it through that part of tonight. And if you have any questions, of course, as usual, please feel free to hit me up on any of the social media messengers or anything like that. And I will be more than happy to try and answer them for you or direct you into a place that might know the answer. And like I always say, I am not a scientist or a medical doctor. I'm a musician that is fascinated by these things and kind of like just Googles a bunch and reads a bunch. So I'm not saying that I know 100% all the information and am 100% accurate about it. But I do know enough to give you guys some starting points. So hopefully that gives you some starting points to check out what sound is doing to the body, good and bad. And I am gonna do 2 covers for you guys tonight. One of them's kind of long, so we're just gonna go with 2. And then we will wrap it up with a meditation. So tonight was a quickie, which is fine because evidently, like myself, it's been kind of an intense January. So now we're in February. It's the first day of February, actually. So happy February to everyone. But yeah, not getting too crazy in the mind with all the facts and the information tonight. Just wanted to give a brief little overview of what is a very large and probably ancient of ancients topic, and something that could really change the world as far as access to medical treatment and mental health treatment for people. So, yeah, thanks for watching that part. I hope you guys learned something cool. Get yourself comfortable, get a blanket, get whatever you'd like, because we're going to take it to the soul level right now for a little bit of meditation. And I love you guys. See you next Thursday. Mwah. I love the space background. It's so crazy. All right, meditation time. Let's get serious. Tonight, we find ourselves here together in this place, on this planet. All the stars have aligned for us to meet together in this moment. So wherever you are, let's all relax and get comfortable. Tonight we're going to do an exercise to send healing love and sound from our heads to our toes. We know that this exercise will lower our stress levels and help our body. Let's take a deep breath to start it off. Breathe in and breathe out. Once more, let's do it. And let it fill up our whole body with air. We breathe out. Imagine anything you don't want inside your body just flowing out of it with your breath. Relax your stomach. Relax your back. Relax your face. And now we're going to imagine a beautiful, golden, warm ray of love entering at the crown of our head into our body. And as it passes through each point, let it wash away the tension. Let it wash away the stress or pain. And let it fill that place with pure love and peace. So imagine it going and relaxing your head, the muscles around your temple. Let it relax your face, your eyebrows, your eyeballs, your cheeks, your mouth, your jaw, now let it travel to all the muscles in your neck. Just let the warm love relax everything in that area. To your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands and your fingers, and your chest, all filled with relaxing, peaceful, warm love. And now let that flow to your back. Feel every muscle in your back relaxing and receiving healthy, beautiful love. Let the muscles in your stomach relax. And your hips, your groin, your pelvis. Let them be purified. This beautiful, warm love. Let it move down to your upper legs, thank it for getting you this far. This is our temple. The vehicle of us. In all its majesty, with all its systems. Carry that feeling with you wherever you need it this week. When you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. You can open your eyes.